Okay, guess who's here? Alive and ready to go. It's Thursday. It's Thursday, the 15th, the day after St. Valentine's Day. And of course, my florist delivered my roses to the wrong address. So they re-delivered them to the house, so at least Marilyn would see roses when she got home. Yep, that's the way it goes in the big city. And of course, the latest, oh my God, I'm just watching it on my delayed broadcast above here. America's crime wave comes to Super Bowl parade. Can you imagine in Kansas City? You got some wackos. Apparently 3 people shooting. They had AK-47 type weapons. And, and they just start shooting. It was like 20 injured, and most of them were kids. Yeah. 6, 7, 8, 10-year-old kids. I mean, what the heck is the reason for that? These kids, Sorry, I did a little sip of my warm tea here from my son gave me this by default because he brought it over here one night, I think. Yeah, something like that. And I said, hey, what's the chance of, Jimmy getting a piece of that action? Oh, I'm just trying to straighten this thing up here a little bit. Because we got to have our, this microphone is like, I had the instruction book, and I had it right out here somewhere. It's in a folder behind the on-air sign. And it says 1959. It's a Shure S55 microphone. Very sensitive. Yes, very sensitive. It's a little far away from me. But I can pick up, the internal room sounds. I can switch these mics. It's a magnificent mic. But this Electro Voice mic is the microphone that our famed conservative broadcaster that had like 30 million listeners every weekday, in the afternoon, at least Eastern time, Rush Limbaugh. He used this Electro Voice, and it is super sensitive. Anyway, it picks you up breathing and all kinds of crazy things. All right, so let's go through our pictorial. Oops, don't want to do that. Too much swiping. Whoops. I guess the bottom is the beginning of this. So there's Hudson, one of our grandchildren, in our 2015 trip to Springfield, Virginia. The view you get on your iPhone, if you're an iPhone user, and you go and you push it all the way to the, pushing right, and you end up with these views, the widget views. So I've got a date widget. I've got a temperature widget And it's saying that at 6 a.m., it'll get to 67 degrees. At 12 p.m., it'll get to 75 degrees. And it's currently 69 degrees. Well, according to of course, the sun is on the east, shining on the east side of my patio. And you can see the temperature, you can follow my finger. There we go. 77.4 degrees outside on my patio with a 47% humidity. Inside here, 68.2 and 51% humidity. Okay. Well, the humidity is like perfect, but it is a tad bit chilly in here. I've got this vent on wide open just to clear out the hot air that flows across this part of the world. Anyway, so there's Hudson. He's now like 6'2" or something. Kids grow. And there's my florist, Hilton Lever. Nice gentleman, family-owned florist, right here in downtown Boca Raton. And you can see you can scan that and it'll go right to his shop. If you got birthdays, whatever you got going that needs flowers, he's the man. And his driver allows up the delivery of, but and it was to be delivered yesterday. So I called this morning and I said, Marilyn's in her office and she don't see no flowers. So what's up? Well, we had 4 Wilsons and again, I said, okay. Can you deliver them today since we missed yesterday? And I did yesterday to avoid the June rush because I know you guys are running around like crazy today. He said, Mr. Wilson, no problem. We'll get them right out to you. I said, take your time. She won't be home till 5 if you bring them home here. Which is most convenient for you, home or office? And he said, well, how about your home? Because you're right downtown and I'm right downtown. I said, all right, you win. Make it happen. There you go, at least 1 killed. Well, so far it's still 1 killed, but it's like over 20 injured. At least 3 are in critical condition. This is like an early, 2 hour ago NBC News, whatever. So the House chairman, this guy got the NSA all pissy because they're not supposed to say anything. House Intel chairman announces serious national security threat. And they're going to talk about it, I think, tomorrow, some kind of a meeting tomorrow. All right, well, if it's such a serious in a hurry, how come they're not doing it today? You're not supposed to ask those questions. And you certainly can't ask them from our president because he's lucky if he knows what day of the week it is. It's a shame, you're seeing, poor old man age right before your eyes. With all the media coverage and all, oh boy, what a mess. Anyway, a law professor says that Trump's team had a pretty interesting argument in the Supreme Court 14th Amendment case. And it has to do with, whether the Colorado rule stands that Trump is off the ballot. Well, how do you do that in a national election? There's some. It's a national election except Colorado. See, that's when the Supreme Court has to come in because you can't have these. They're like 14 states all trying to take them off the ballot. Well, it makes it tough to win an election when 14 states you cannot get to any reasonable piece of those electors, because we have an electoral college system in the United States, which means state by state, it's all or nothing on the electors, and the number of electors happens to correspond with the number of House of Representatives that you have in your particular state. You know, how many districts there are, federal districts, they're all outlined, you know, with the borders and all that. They make those adjustments every 10 years based on the census. And I believe that the whole purpose in allowing all these illegal aliens, you know, they call them migrants. Screw that. They're illegal aliens because they have broken our laws to get here. You know, the current administration, has no interest in vetting these people. God knows what kind of diseases they got. You know, when my kid entered the second grade, Maryland had to run around and get immunization records and all this stuff just to be able to sit in a classroom in the third grade, second grade, first grade, kindergarten. You know, all the shots. You think they're coming over here with their immunization records? I don't think so. So, you know, I mean, it's it's like 10 million people has flooded in here in the three years, and you know, 3.25 years of you know, the Biden administration. You know, God. So what happens is these guys flood all over the place. Now they're going to the blue states largely because, you know why? Because when they rob things, they don't go to jail. But in the United States, well, in Florida, let's do in Florida. Oh yeah, we don't, you know, so they steal stuff in New York, and then they truck on down here, and they sell the stuff in Florida. And one of the news guys says, well, why don't you just stay in Florida? You know, the weather's great and all this stuff. But they put you in jail in Florida. Yep. They go right back to New York because they don't go to jail in New York State, and particularly New York City. So that's what's happening. But anyway, the reason why they let in all these people, and they continue to, is because when the next census comes up, you have all these other people, and they're going to count them. Oh, we have to count them because, you know, they live in the state and blah, 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 and they have to be part of the representative American. I mean, that's going to be the argument. And it's going to be argued state by state because, you know, any reasonable politician, which I'm not, I'm just Jimmy Q's citizen, Jimmy L's citizen, that says, hey, that ain't fair. They're not citizens. We let in like 1 million legal aliens a year. We let in about 1 million legal aliens a year. And they've been online for, you know, a number of years. They take a test. They learn something about American history. They have to be able to speak English to some reasonable degree. Read road signs. And they meld into our society just fine when you got 330 million people. But when you got 10 million that all of a sudden show up, you know, and you already got 10 million in here from all prior years. So you got 20 million. The dreamers, there's like 8 million dreamers. Well, they're essentially illegal aliens also, in a sense. They were dragged over here with their parents. Well, now they're grown up and they're dreamers. They dream about being a citizen. Well, speak English, take the test, get online. We'll let you become a citizen when you've earned your right to become a citizen. Well, they've been paying taxes. Anyway, there's a legal process for becoming a U.S. citizen. Follow it. Anyway, how about that? Get off my preaching. Make a change. Not make change. Make a change. If you don't make a change, there won't be a change. That's what my family taught me. If, Einstein and a lot of people have said, if you do the same thing over and over and over again and expect a different result, that's the definition of an idiot. Because you can't be doing the same thing over and over and over again and expect a different result. It's basically stupid. El stupido. Anyway, I don't know if there's such a word. Anyway, so I nabbed that picture just so. A talking point for this morning. And there's a rose. I took a picture of one of the beautiful roses that Hilton Lever's company delivered. Look at that. Marvelous. There's another one you can see. Sunflowers in the background, and look. There's a bird. We've got like several of these birds. I mean, they look like real birds. They're not. They're crows, hawks, blackbirds. There's one over here. You can see the body of one over here, but can't see the head. And here you can see the head. Marilyn's got them right on these sunflowers. It makes for, it's nice. Look at that rose. Isn't that just magnificent? I sprayed it with a little distilled water just to make it glisten. Anyone that takes pictures of flowers knows that you have to spray it. Hey, look at this. I may have showed this another day, but our fire alarm went off, and look what we got. We got these guys walking up and down the hallways. They're trying to figure out, there was a smell, like not a hard smoke, but you could smell something that was, not doing well. It set off the fire alarm in apparently one of the apartments. And this guy, after further investigation with my photograph, he's got his hand on a big axe. So if they knock on the door and you don't answer it right away, guess what? They're climbing through after they hack the door down. Holy mackerel. This guy's got some keys. They're swaying in the breeze. This guy's got a bunch of keys. But they're like for, locks and storage rooms. They don't have like master keys. And they can't walk around with, with a box of 220 keys on them. And search through them, pick the right key and knock on the door and all that stuff. The building's burning. We come through with an axe. These doors are, they're not that easy to get into. They're pretty solid doors. They're not metal doors. They're wooden doors. But I noticed that axe. And that was pretty scary. Let's edit this little bugger. Let's see. Bilal Johnson just answered my text message. He says, I want my jet refinanced again. Okay, let's take our sharpening tool and try to sharpen up on that axe. So we can get that a little better. Definition. Let's do a little definition and see what that does. All right, press done. Come back here. Oh, we can't see that axe any better. All right, we're going to have to edit. Yeah, oops. We got to brighten that up a little bit. Brighten it up. Did we get rid of this stuff down here? No, we didn't, because that just did nothing but create a lot of noise. So we'll undo that. Now we can go over here to, you're watching this, of course, Photoshop Express. This is a little free tutorial on playing with the tools with the Apple program that's built into the operating system. We're going to touch down here where it says adjustments. Let's change the view here. Producer, change the view, please. There we go. I'm the producer. All right, so we're going to touch the thing over here that says adjustments, and then we're going to go to details all the way. I'm going to push my finger all the way over here. It says details. And where it says reduce noise, luminance, do that. This is the color portion of that. Do that. Now, when it comes over here to dehaze, there wasn't really a lot of smoke in the air, but let's just do that. Little slider there. You can see I slid it, back and forth. There's too much. We slide back and forth, and we get it just about right. We have those bright lights, lighting up the hallways. And I'm going to hit clarity, and I'm keeping my eye on this axe. And let's see if we can make that clearer. That's not doing it. Oh, here, sharpen. Let's do sharpen. I think I've got this expanded as much as I can. Let's slide that over a little tiny bit more. Yep, that's a little better. Done. Yeah, now you can see that axle better. He's got his hand gripped on it. Yep, he's got his air bottle. He's ready for, he's ready for the building to be burned down. It's not happening. Anyway, so can you imagine? I've been in this building for 12 years. And the alarms go off, like 3 times a year. They go off for seems like 15 minutes, maybe a half hour. Well, these guys have got to walk every hallway to try and figure out where the heck the smoke's coming from, because it set off the smoke alarm. It usually comes from the second floor where, we have commercial tenants in there like law firms and so forth. There's no third floor residents in this building. So on the second floor, they have commercial tenants. And sometimes they leave things on the coffee burner, the instant coffee guy. Well, that thing boils down to the point where there is no water in it. And that sucker smokes and, smells like burnt coffee. And they've knocked down a few doors from the law firms because they didn't turn off their hot plates. In the kitchen, the ladies heat up their lunches or for their bosses or whatever. But occasionally, there's a problem on the residential floors, 3 through 9. We're on number 8, directly above Chops. So, if in Chops, they have a little problem in their kitchen, Jimmy can smell it. The fumes. I can tell when they're making the sauces, gravies for the steak topping, wine gravy, yeah. Okay, now I have a little problem with my cat. El Gato, my boy cat, has this little nasty looking thing. You see it right there? 561-416-1100. If we have any listeners that happen to be vets, or they know of a friendly vet that can tell me what that is, I mean, that is a pretty good picture. There's like hairs growing up through it. I don't know what kind of little infection that guy, got. Maybe the cats were fighting with each other. We have another cat. This picture is not really any good. Let's just trash it. Delete it. Bam, it's gone. So when I was taking pictures of the cat, look what I got there. I just happened to, it's something about those cat eyes. I have to check this corner of this eye looks a little red and irritated. See what's going on there. There's his little bump. And you can see, almost tell that it's where it's elevated. I think that's the last picture. All right, there's my florist. Hilton Lever. He leaves flowers on every floor, puts his business cards on it. So that's the guy. 338-5355. Call them up, send them a Gmail. You can go to their website, which I did, NY Floral Design, in the singular. They've only done one of them. No. Okay. Weddings, evening designs, birthdays, anniversaries, funerals, and St. Valentine's Day. That fits in, and much more. See here it says, and much more. Well, that's where Valentine's Day fits in, apparently. So I just happened to look up in my inventory of things I have. And, let's see. Twitter just, after 28 minutes, dropped off. I think they only allow you half hour in high definition, and I'm at 60 frames a second. I'll have to check that. But they just dropped off the broadcast. I think they'll have the full. I try to cut it to an hour, plus or minus 5 minutes, just because, I don't want to tick off the neighbors in television land. Anyway, so here's this is a refillable butane torch, for, like when you do a rib roast, you have to, the insides of the ribs, they never get seared. You have to sear it all up, and then you put it in an oven at 250 degrees for several hours until the internal temperature reaches about 120 degrees. And then you take that guy out, cover it up, leave the thermometer on. You might put make sure you have a high quality thermometer. And the internal temperature will increase because external temperature is like 250 or 60 degrees. And that temperature will start to stabilize the entire piece of meat. And the internal temperature will get up to, about 132 degrees, which is medium rare. Metal gas tank. 4.5 inches. And you can see there's like a probe that goes up through the middle for some reason. And this is where you stick the butane to charge it, turn it upside down, fill it up. And it's got a nice, there's a little silver button right here in the back. And you just, you hold your hand around this thing and you just push that button and it starts the torch. And you adjust this knob for the amount of, whatever. And this thing fits on there as a safety buck, which I don't know what that means exactly. When you're done, you just turn this knob all the way off to turn the flame off and seal it up. The liquid butane that they use, methane, ethane, propane, butane, methane, one carbon atom surrounded by 4 atoms of hydrogen. Ethane, methane, ethane has 2 carbons surrounded by, 8 carbons, and they link together. So you got methane, ethane. Propane has 3. Methane, ethane, propane. With propane tanks, like your gas grill, it has a distinctive smell. Butane has 1 more carbon atom, surrounded by, with all the available valent openings, 4 of them, with hydrogen. So you got carbon, hydrogen combines with oxygen. You got a flame. Now, if the flame goes out, butane has also a distinctive smell. It has a little greater smell than propane or methane. So because it's, used for a lot of inside, kitchen type doodads like this, and, it wants to have a smell so that you go find it and turn it off or, put it underwater or something. There you go, and you can get the relative size of this. I went online and downloaded this from their site. They're getting free advertising. RAVS 2001. Gas butane. See, now you can see that button. It's like a trigger. You don't have a lot of crap to, safety, and you can't use it. There it is right there. Gas burner. That's what the word was blocked out. There's the trigger. So you rotate it open and you turn it closed. Seems pretty obvious. So when you turn it closed and everything is off, and this isn't really hot, smell it and see if it's leaking. Because if it's leaking, then you don't want to enclose it. Put it out on the grass till you can figure out how to make it not leak. Adjustable flame. Table flame. Blowtorch. I'm not too sure why I have this picture here. Let's get rid of it. We don't need a duplicate. All right. My daughter was all exercised because her soon-to-be ex-husband placed one of these sneaky little air tags, put it underneath the front seat in her car so he could track where she's driving to. She has no boyfriends. So she found it. She's been in law enforcement for over 20 years. So she got a lot of law enforcement friends. And I said, call one of your law enforcement friends. There is an app available. Don't recall the name of it. Sorry. You can search it, some other way, but call one of your law enforcement guys. They'll know. There's an app you can put on your iPhone, and it'll find the low frequency Wi-Fi that emits from this device. It's an ultra low, they call it ultra wideband. It may be Bluetooth kind of thing. So, actually, some people that are in the airline industry basically saying, put those in your travel bags. You want to keep track of your bags? Put your name on there. There's a place when you start up the AirTag. Whoops. Because you can give it a name, and so you call it Jim's baggage, Marilyn's baggage, other baggage, camera baggage. Let's touch this right here. See if I can. There we go. Let's just move this to Apple. That's kind of weird. Let's expand this and try that again. There we go. Now, look up. How nice is that? AirTag. I don't want to shop. I want information. So let's go here and see what happens. All right, here we go. Apple. Lose your knack for losing things. There you go. You can get it for about $20 a piece now. 4 for $25, or no, 4 for $79. So that's like 80, right? 79 is close to 80. 4 into 80 is 20. So it makes it $20 a piece. See, and you can locate stuff. Where's my bags? They're in Louisiana, goddammit. Oops, sorry. Darn it. The airline doesn't know where my bags is, but I know where they are. Cold, warm, warmer, hot. See, there it is. And you can look at the arrow. Come on over here. You got 20 feet to go to your right, and you find your AirTag. But there's another app, because that's your AirTag. See, Deborah's AirTag. Well, what if John put an AirTag that's got his name on it in Deborah's car? Well, then you can't use this because I don't believe. Now, they had a feature where you can find any AirTag, which that's a good idea, because then you could find, I'll have to go back to the AirTag on the phone, which is behind this counter. That's at 39 minutes and 28 seconds. And find out if they reopen that port. They're in iPhone iOS 15. You see where it says connect? And when you connect, you pull out the little thing that keeps the battery from making full contact. You just pull that out, and then it activates this little bugger. I have one right here on my... let's change the view. See, now if I had a real producer instead of just Jimmy doing this. Let's turn this light brighter. Come on, studio guy. I'm the studio guy. I'm the talking guy. See, there's an AirTag. On the back end of this, it's all white. On the other side is a silver Apple logo. So I took that off. I turned it over so it wouldn't be so obvious that that's a tracking device in case someone puts their little mitts on my wallet. Long live battery. Lasts for a couple of years. You can pop in a new one. It's 2032 battery. 2032 battery, I believe. Use AR to see it from any angle. AR, it's your alternate reality stuff. You can get these little keychain things, and it hangs in a keychain, and so they don't have this thing, so it's got its own little hook on it. You got to buy something else for $15. Apple, these guys are really smart. Anyway, so we just did a little lookup. Let's go back to photos. There we are. See, I mean, that's pretty neat. You can highlight stuff and have it talk to you. Let's see if that'll happen. Oops. Let's just expando it. Stop it. There we go. There we go. And we'll go right to here. And we'll say, not translate. We can translate it into another language. Let's speak it and see if we can hear it. I'll turn up the auxiliary sound. Here we go. Speak.
Whether you're traveling for President's Day weekend, already planning your spring break vacation, or you're just prone to losing things.
There you go. You could barely hear that. I know, but anyway, so let's play. Let's do something else. So you just move this little thing. Look up. Let's translate to Spanish. Yes, say, yes, que estés viajando para el fin de semana del Día de los Presidentes. Y estés President's Day, placido tus vacaciones de primavera o simplemente propenso a pender cosa a engancha. I guess that's snagging. All right, forget that. Let's do something else. But, that's pretty cool, huh? Translate. You can pick your language. Just happen to have Spanish on there. Okay, so back in June of 2023, Apple, at its worldwide, developer conference, announced its Vision Pro, which the Wikipedia article calls it mixed reality headset. This week, meaning in February, they released it. And you could have your very own set of goggles for $3,500. Well, this may not be an obstacle for the wealthy early adopters. The rest of us will probably wait until the next version comes out when all the bugs are ironed out of it and the price comes down to $2,500, which is still a lot of money for goggles, You can get the goggles that, of course, I don't know what these things do, but, the goggles I had that worked with these little drones. And when you wear them and you have a drone, you're like in the cockpit of the drone because, you're those high definition, that camera is, basically facing in line with where you're flying the drone. You turn the drone, the camera turns. Well, if you got goggles on, you go, whoa, you start to you better be leaning against a post because you could fall over watching your own drone fly with those goggles on. And they're like $500. These are $3,500. Now, I looked at the iFixit.com site, and they took it all apart with all the pieces. So you can see all the pieces, and there are lots of pieces. I mean, it's multi-layers of, circuit boards, and they have all connectors. I mean, the engineering job there is really quite spectacular. Well, you can see this, a bunch of people here. They're all watching their alternate reality goggles. They have their mouses and their keyboards, and they're trying to figure out, and the headsets. Texas State University sorry, my glasses on the Mickey microphone there. Sorry, I need these glasses so I can see these words clearly. They're not much. It's just plus ones. Only the better places have plus ones, because that's like almost nothing. But it's something. Oh, sorry. I can take them off and I can read it, but I can read it better if I have these. When I'm in the computer zone here, I can see everything a whole lot better if I got my plus ones on. Anyway, this article by Texas State University engineering professor Carl D. Stepan originally appeared at Engineering Ethics blog February 5th, 2004, and is reprinted with permission. Okay. I'm looking up in the upper corner here. Trump motion to dismiss hush money case is denied. All right. I mean, it says, you gave hush money and you didn't tell everybody, the name of account, your name and address. I mean, that's what they call it, hush money, dummy. And they, and of course in New York State, they call that, I think they're in New York State, they call that, illegal. Can you imagine all this crap going on in New York City? And now here's another judge considering whether to remove Fannie Willis. Her name is Fannie. She's like the attorney, the head attorney in New York, and she's got nothing better. No, she's not an attorney general. She's prosecuting attorney in Atlanta. And that's live in Atlanta. It's not live. It's delayed. Because we're over on 9:50 and this says 9:49. So we have a delayed thing up here so we can kind of see it right in the very corner. Lift that up just a little bit. There we go. So you can still hear me. And you can get a little tiny peek of what's going on in Atlanta. I mean, it's amazing that these two news agencies have got reporters and cameras and, everywhere. Oof, nothing can happen without the watchful eye of these news channels. All right, so that's the tag. There are those folks. Yeah, mind matters. Will Apple's Vision Pro be the next iPhone? I don't think so. Really? People are going to walk around with goggles on? I don't think so. Unless they shrink it all down to be like a contact lens, which that ain't going to happen. But they could put them, in a not so heavy duty. I have some like heavy duty plus ones in this little bag. Let's see if I can get them out. This bag is so good I can't get them out. These are pretty heavy duty frames. You can like hop on top of these suckers. They kind of like snap into position. They're spring loaded, so they kind of like hang on your head if you flip them up or down. The ones I'm wearing are not quite. My God, there's Fannie. There's a picture of Fannie up in the and are fine. jurisprudence guy is telling everybody, Jonathan Turley is telling everybody why the judge is considering to move Fani. I mean, she's so prejudiced. And the attorney, I mean, they're like lovers. And they schemed to get Trump in the position he's at. There we go. So, these aren't quite so heavy duty. They're lighter weight. They fit nicely on my face. They slip under my headphones. You see, I got headphones here. And they have to slide right back there. These are wired headphones. So the wire goes up around here, around through here, goes up underneath here, and then plugs in somewhere. I forget exactly where it plugs in. Oh, back here, where I have my headphones connection. There it is. There it is, a little piece. Oh, you can't see it anyway, because your camera's not facing that way. Because it's not a very pretty view. Do I have a camera? There we go. No, that's the. Let's click on one of these. Whoops! Started my phone. No, we don't want it. Disconnect. No. It just dropped both up. Okay. We have no cameras activated. Now we have that one. Now we have that one. I don't know what this one is. It's a blank screen. What a mess. I have to get rid of that. Anyway, you can see what's going on. Let's try to click this one. Gosh, I got my phone again. All right. Anyway. Oh, now we can't see anything. We're broadcasting nothing to everybody. There we go. We got at least two things. They're a little off center, but what are you going to do? There's nothing up here to... All right, we're at 53 minutes. We touched on Vision Pro. We touched on a butane lighter. Well, we can't forget the House impeached Alejandro Mayorkas. Why? Because he let in 8 million illegal aliens, no vetting. He was taking name and numbers down. These guys, they're lucky they got shoes on, right? And so there's nothing to, they give a name and they don't have social security numbers. They don't have, they don't have credit cards. They come over here walking across, treading through a river in southern Texas. I mean, it's crazy. This guy did nothing. Of course, he's just following the orders of what the president wants done. He's on the cabinet. Well, he just got impeached. There hasn't been a cabinet official impeached in the United States for 148 years. Can you imagine? 148 years. That's a lot of years. That's a lot of generations. Oh my God. I mean, congressional terms last 2. Now, president's terms last 4. So if you divide, let's get our trusty calculator out here. Cleared 148 years divided by 4 is, in theory, 38 presidents. Some presidents have, 2 terms instead of 1 and all that kind of stuff. So, anyway, that's a long time ago. It says, finish this thing. This is an app. I have to go up. Okay. Let's do Real Clear Politics, see if there's any changes there. I'm going to go back. I'm going to push this to the home thing. The AM update. It's only 10 a.m. I've been up since 5:30. So here we go. Tuesday the 13th. So that's 2 days ago. Trump, Biden in North Carolina. Trump's ahead by 5. In Michigan, he's up by 2. Michigan, with all these other people in there with Democrats, he's up 5. North Carolina, he's up by 9. They don't even have any Nikki Haley stuff. That was Thursday. Today's Thursday. I don't know why I look at that and this is Tuesday. No, that's Thursday. So this is the latest today poll. This morning polls. Michigan versus Trump. Fox News reported Trump's up by 2, 47-45. North Carolina, 50-45. This is Real Clear Politics. And they average the polls and all that kind of stuff, but this is a poll. This is not an average. So let's look at the North Carolina one. Or let's go to Michigan. We can touch on Michigan. So, here are all the polls. You can see the time periods. You go back to, so when they do the average, they don't average all of this stuff back into, October. They just take the top 3 or 4. Here's, see the 2 recent ones in February, it's like Trump's up by 2 or 3. So they call it to Trump up on an average of 4.8. And you can go back. So Real Clear Politics. You can see it on your phone, and you see it right here on my iPad. It's a very handy app. Highly recommend it. Yeah. Let's see what's going on here. Let's this guy in the middle. We don't know. Is there a way of finding it? Show camera switcher window. All right, there's one. Oh, that's the one on my phone. We don't want that on. Disconnect. Yeah. That's what got us in trouble to begin with. There we go. We got rid of the black. The nothing. There's that. Okay. Let's turn that off now. Let's get back to this. And we can go right here. I have to add this one first. There we go. And then I come up here and I can switch it. So I'm big and that small, which makes it so you can't read it, but that's tough luck. Yeah, see, that's what I was talking about. With that, it's an hour. So we're going to say goodbye. So I put that little guy in the corner. And it's on my main screen. You can see it there. February 15th. It's Thursday morning. It's 10:02 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't let Fox fool you, because they're 2 minutes late. for some reason or other, or their entire network broadcasts 2 minutes late. So when they come on a program at like 10 o'clock, it's like 2 minutes after 10, on their clock. I guess that's so they can, stop, if somebody does something really nasty on the air, they can block it out. Okay. So we're going to say, have a nice day. I might have an afternoon session today because I'm just so energized, and I gotta, I don't want to have this broadcast go over an hour. Facebook Live gets a little testy. And it's on YouTube Live and Twitter Live. But Twitter dropped off after it hit 30 minutes. I'll have to find out why that is. It's usually like an internet thing. I have this music in the background so that the pipe stays open all the time, even if I take a breath. So if it gets real quiet on this microphone right here, you might lose the pipe, because this is streaming down the pipe into all these channels simultaneously. This is a simulcast hitting all three of the major platforms. Let's call them that. Twitter Live, which is X now. Elon, this crazy guy. He's got one of his kids, his name is X. He named it after one of his kids. And then he had some other characters, they're smoking too much dope. Gets them crazy. Or the wives are smoking too much dope. There's a short circuit somewhere. Not too certain where, but, you can't be good at everything. Like naming your children, really? Okay. Goodbye. See you later. Bye-bye. Hi, this is Epidemic. There's a whole series of royalty-free soundtracks that I use as background music. I hope you enjoy it. I'll give you about 30 seconds before I go off the air.